Good morning. And good afternoon and good evening. Wherever you are, in whichever time zone you are watching us, a big welcome to all of you at the start of this special edition of IFA Berlin 2020. The video just now, didn't it bring back memories? When I watched it for the first time, I felt quite nostalgic. And not just because I like the sentiment of Liverpool fans singing, "You will never walk alone." So much has happened since IFA 2019. It feels more than 1 year ago, doesn't it? Our world has been uprooted in so many ways, whether it's the pandemic, political tensions, trade wars, natural disasters, the continued battle for equality, Black Lives Matter. I think you will agree, this year has been a tough one. During the past 70 years or so, there has been only 1 year when IFA Berlin, or the Funkausstellung, as it was known then, did not go ahead as planned. That was in 1961, at the end of August. The Funkausstellung was due to open, but on Sunday, August the 10th, Communist East Germany built the Berlin Wall. Imagine a city split in two, and even back then, the people came together in the spirit of Berlin, standing up for solidarity and freedom. And many companies sent a signal by investing in West Berlin, by showing their solidarity with the divided city exhibiting in IFA. Well, fast forward to this extraordinary and unsettling year 2020. Here's my take. The fact that we are meeting here today in Berlin, it gives us back at least a bit of normality. Much needed normality. And I want to say a big thank you to all the companies. They are our partners here in Berlin during this special edition of IFA. So, here we are, with IFA 2020 as a real-life event. I see it as a big sign, as a symbol for all of us to show that we can look beyond the pandemic, beyond the economic fallout, beyond all these uncertainties. There is a normal ahead. And I'm not going to call it a new normal, because we don't know our future yet. Now, it is up to all of us, industry, retailers, media, and consumers, to look to the future and build and shape the normal that's going to emerge. And so a big thank you to all of you here in Berlin, and to everybody who's joining us online for our virtual IFA 2020 experience, the IFA Extended Space. A lot of people have told me that they would have loved to come to Berlin. But as you know, there are still travel bans and lockdown restrictions that make life difficult. Sometimes hurdles are just too high. And of course, safety must come first. Our team here at Messe Berlin has worked really hard to keep all of you safe. And I think they deserve a round of applause for that. Many thanks to all of them. And from me, also many thanks to you here in Berlin for sticking to the rules, social distancing and all. I've been asked before, why did we not go all virtual and move the whole event online? And it's quite simple. When it comes to doing business, nothing beats the personal connection. You have all heard the term Zoom fatigue. It's a thing. Constant video calls and virtual meetings, they're okay, but they are exhausting. And usually, they get only some of the job done. A real brainstorm with real results, it works better face-to-face. Striking a trusted business relationship, well, it's in real life, here at IFA Berlin, where the big deals get done. Serendipitous discoveries, well, you usually make them when you stroll through our exhibition halls. And when it comes to new devices and gadgets, what better than hands-on demonstration? Nothing beats real life. And that's why we all, our industry, the media, and the public need IFA. Especially now. Many of us have been working from home. We all rediscovered that technology can help us to work better and to have more fun in life, well, given to the circumstances. But for our industry, this has been a difficult year, both because consumer demand was unpredictable and because the virus has disrupted supply chains like we've never seen before. And so in this year, more than ever, it's important to start IFA Berlin with a close look at the world of consumer electronics and home appliances, with deep insights from our friends at GFU and GfK. They will explain what is happening in the markets, and I'm certain that you all are keen to know what has changed during the past year. What's our baseline ahead of this year's shopping season, with Thanksgiving, Singles Day, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and of course, all the lockdown buys. First on our stage is the new chairman of GFU, Kai Hillebrand. Kai, over to you.
Jens, very much for this quite impressive introduction, also with the history. Ladies and gentlemen, I also would like to welcome you to IFA 2020 Special Edition. This year's Global Press Conference is extraordinary in two ways. Firstly, we normally hold this event in spring, and secondly, this is the first time I am standing in front of you before at this event. In recent years, Hans-Joachim Kamp has welcomed you here as a long-time chairman of the supervisory board of the GFU, and Mr. Kamp stepped down from his position on the 1st of August. And as his successor, I would like to take this opportunity to explicitly thank Hans-Joachim Kamp for his outstanding contribution to the success of the IFA in the past couple of decades. I will also thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to our partner Messe Berlin for the conception and implementation of the special edition of IFA 2020 in these rather difficult times. In spring, nobody could have imagined that IFA would become reality in this year. And despite the fact that many elements have changed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are jointly confident that the IFA 2020 special edition will be a resounding success. This year, IFA has a very special role to play. It will offer the home electronics industry the first opportunity since the outbreak of the pandemic to present their new products and services. Even in this extraordinary year, IFA will once more have an invaluable positive impact on the global markets as a platform showcasing innovation with numerous presentations of new products in the lead-up to the highest turnover period. I would also like to thank our partner GfK, who have competently provided us with the current market data, as they usually do. Peter Feld, the CEO of GfK, will provide additional insight into the current directly after this presentation. Let's take a look at the developments within the global markets in the first half of 2020. Since the COVID-19 pandemic started, everyone has been wondering how this crisis would impact our market. What does this imply for each product category? Personal impressions and experience can differ actually noticeably from country to country from what I will show you now. The pandemic has hit the different regions of the world at different times, so the effects on their local markets has also shifted. Stay at home quickly became the buzzword around the world, as life had to go on. The products of our consumer electronics and home appliances industry have played a major role in this. These products have become an integral part of our lives, supporting us every day and making our life easier. As a result, our home electronics industry has proven to be very resilient globally during the COVID-19 pandemic. At around 6%, the global decline in sales in the first half of the year was quite moderate compared to other industries. And this is thanks to both the innovative strength of our industry and the fact that the home electronics segments offers a large number of technical products for stay at home that have become increasingly in demand during the crisis. From devices for based homework and homeschooling, which have aggregated under the headline Work at Home, to products for all aspects of life at home. Entertainment, meal preparation, cleaning, well-being and health care have been grouped together under Stay at Home. The first half of the year can be divided into 3 phases. One too fast or not? Yes. The first half of the year can be divided into 3 phases, following the progression of the pandemic: panic, adaptation, reopening. During the initial period of panic, the focus was mainly on being able to keep working. Work at home had to be implemented, and sales of such products increased. During the lockdown period, people started adapting to spending almost all of their time at home. Subsequently, eat at home and entertain at home were added. During this time, sales declined slightly because most of the shops were closed. But during the period of reopening, eat at home and work at home maintained their interest and sales increased again. For home-based work, many people had to acquire technical equipment. Correspondingly, IT office products were in high demand, and this resulted in large increases in sales during March and April. However, in May and June, during the reopening period, these increases surprisingly doubled. Work at home is now firmly established as a new norm and has had led to increased demand for technical equipment. Let's take a closer look at the impressive growth rates of some work-at-home product categories. You can see them here, many of them included. And whoever stays more or less 24/7 at home will also focus on improving their surroundings. Food storage and preparation require more and larger appliances. In some countries, refrigerators and freezers are experiencing a real boom. Comfort and simplicity top the list of necessities. This is reflected in the demand for microwave ovens and dishwashers, for example. Also, appliances for food preparation were in high demand, from food choppers and kitchen machines to hand mixers and food processors. But people have not only spent their time working and eating, they also have spent their free time at home. Entertainment and gaming appliances were also in high demand during the lockdown period. The gaming sector has clearly benefited from these circumstances to a much greater extent than traditional IT products. Dear ladies and gentlemen, to sum up, as you can see, life must go on, even during a pandemic. Our industry supplies the necessary products that are indispensable in both everyday life and work. Work at home requires the right technical equipment, which has led to increased demand for such devices. Eat at home raised the demand for major and small domestic appliances, and entertain at home saw increased sales of TV sets and gaming devices. The increased demand was reflected in results which our GFU survey, which we conducted in Germany during July and August. 55% of the respondents made purchases earlier than they originally planned due to the corona pandemic. And only 15% cancelled a planned acquisition because of COVID-19. And in addition, 30% said they have postponed planned purchases because of COVID-19, but only for the moment. This high percentage of consumers who are still looking at making new purchases is expected to have a positive impact on the market in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, in this presentation I have clearly demonstrated that our industry is proving to be exceptionally resilient. And I'm confident that this will not change significantly in the next half of the year, thanks to our innovative strength and consumer postponed purchases. I kindly thank you very much for your attention and ask Jens Heidecker to take over, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai. Kai Hillebrand, Chairman of GFU. Very impressive insights. Thank you. And now for the second deep dive into data. And it brings another new face to the IFA stage. Please welcome Peter Feld, the Chief Executive of our market intelligence partner, GfK. Peter, your stage.
Thank you very much, Jens. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning also from my side. It's a great pleasure to speak to you, and I must say I'm truly excited about our renewed partnership with IFA. Together, we firmly believe that we can re-inject and inject significant growth for the industry into the market. The role of GfK in that place is to continue, as we've done for 85 years, to deliver trusted data to our partners in the industry, but now with our new tech capabilities, provide the right signal from the noise to provide you the right recommendations to drive your business forward. Today, what I would like to do is speak about three signals that we believe are most important from some of the data that you've just seen from Kai as he was presenting it before. Disruption, acceleration, and data overflow. Let me start with disruption. 83% of shoppers have completely changed the way they buy products during COVID. And we at GfK are firmly believing that that actually is not something that comes unexpected. It would have come anyways. But it is obvious that COVID has propelled that situation by probably 3, 4, 5 years into a very short period of time. What that means when you think about 83% having changed their shopping behaviors, that obviously has a significant impact to the organization of our clients, to the way how you handle your business, both on the manufacturing and on the retail side, and also your competitive landscape. And that is the most important thing. So we see that after the COVID crisis, the business numbers come back to normal, but we shouldn't fall into the belief that business can continue to be run as usual. Our experience is clearly showing us that trimming the edges and doing a little bit of change to compete in this new environment successfully is not enough. It requires a clear, significant change on our client side to make sure that they win in this new disrupted environment. Second, acceleration. COVID has given us a lot of things that have thrown us into a completely new environment, starting with the disruption of the supply chains in Asia from February onwards, when the China infrastructure already was hit by the COVID crisis. But that was a one-off phenomena that could be recovered after some time. But what we see in a sustained way is that 64% increase for retailers that have added e-commerce capability to their business model. 64% up. That is good for the industry because the industry knows how to work with the retailers. But it's a significant change when you think about what the organization on the industry side has to cope with going forward. Planning in the way, business planning in the way that was possible several years ago is not what will make you successful today. That new environment requires a totally different drumbeat in your organizational capability to win in this new normal. And so for me, the most important thing here on acceleration for you to take away is we have to rethink how our organizations are operating, what the drumbeat is that they are working with to really drive an agile business forward into the future. Third, data overload. When we think back 5, 8, 10 years, we've made many decisions in the industry because we didn't have data. Today, we're still struggling to make the right decisions because we have too much data. 91% of all of the industry today is using some sort of CRM system. All the available resources from consumer insights, from your own loyal consumer and shopper data shows a massive overflow of data that makes it very difficult for the industry partners to derive the right signal from noise and to really identify what should happen next. So 3 things: disruption, acceleration, and data overload. That is very similar to what was happening to GfK. At GfK, we have for 85 years delivered trusted data to the entire technology and durable goods industry. And we will continue doing that into the future. But given these changes in front of us that were propelled by COVID, it was obvious that we had to change from a market research firm to a technology company. And that's what we have done. And I'm very happy to say that today, with GfK Neuron, we will partner closely with IFA to inject new growth into the market in a totally different way. GfK Neuron is our proprietary AI platform that derives the right signal from noise through recommendations that we give as decision support to the industry, coming all from one trusted source of data. With that, I want to close and thank the previous speakers. I'm very happy that we can take to the next 2 days and bring you closer to the opportunities that we see together with IFA to inject and propel growth into the industry in a sustained way. Thank you very much.
Peter Feld, thank you. And once again, Kai Hillebrand, thank you both very much. Now we know where our industry stands and what consumers want. It's time to look ahead and see what's coming at us in the future. Which technologies and products are going to transform our world in the months and years ahead. It's time for this year's opening keynote. During the past few years, whenever companies spoke about the future of connectivity, of next generation networks and 5G, well, I noticed that a few journalists were a bit skeptical. I think the pandemic has put an end to that. If we needed any proof that excellent high-speed connectivity is a must, these past few months we have lived the proof. And that's the reason why we asked Cristiano Amon, the president of Qualcomm, to join us again this year to take us to the cutting edge of connectivity. Having said that, Cristiano is obviously based in the south of the United States. And we all know there the pandemic is still hitting hard, very hard. To spare Cristiano to travel in this situation and to keep all of us safe, we agreed with Qualcomm that he delivers his keynote electronically and virtually this year. So without further ado, I hope you will enjoy the next 3 days of the IFA 2020 special edition. And now we have a short break. We will start sharp at 10 with the keynote because it's virtual, but going live sharp at 10. So we have a little bit time for a small break, and maybe I can ask the other speakers to join me for a photo. Oh, he already left. Then this is more or less not possible anymore. Okay, means short break of 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will start with our opening keynote from Qualcomm from San Diego. Thank you very much.